This camera gets on my nerves. Ooh. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. David Terrell Green here, aka Dave Marino. Hey, if you guys are new to the channel and you like what you see, man, go on and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, notification mafia. We dropping brand new videos daily, so you guys definitely want to keep up to date on what's going on. Got a brand new short film coming out on June 21st, so you guys have to take a look at some of the behind scenes, some of the cool features that we have for you guys. It's gonna be a fun ride. And if you guys are returning subscribers, call your freaking mother. You already know what the drill is. As a matter of fact, you should have called her before this video started. What's the matter with you, man? It's no secret that sports is nowhere to be found right now. Everything is put on hiatus. Baseball, freaking the NBA. But to scratch that itch of just a sports fan that I am, they've released the 10-part Michael Jordan Last Dance documentary, man. And boy, man, it was freaking awesome. There's a lot of things that I learned about, you know, Michael Jordan as a person and as a player, and just as the Bulls as a whole. Watching this documentary, my favorite player of all time is LeBron James. And I know a lot of people are probably gonna start hopping in my comments and DMs talking about, well, that's because you were young blood. See, if you was around back then during Jordan's time. Yeah, you're probably right. If I was able to understand the game of basketball better when Michael Jordan was at his prime, he probably would be my number one. But it just doesn't happen like that. The era I started to watch basketball in was the Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Dirk Nowitzki, Steve Nash, freaking Vince Carter, Allen Iverson, and yes, LeBron James era. But my top 5 of best players, it will definitely piss off some people. We're not going into that because I want to keep my subscribers. But with all of that, I have put together top 5 things you missed in the Michael Jordan documentary. No, I'm just playing. I'm not what do you think I am? What culture? This is 5 takeaways from The Last Dance. Number 5, man, Charles Barkley. I think it's safe to say that Charles Barkley is a very underrated and underappreciated basketball player. And watching this documentary, I realized how special of a player and how diverse of a player he actually was. Now, like I said before, I wasn't raised in the Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen era. So a lot of the stuff that I have to go off of is YouTube highlights. And I watched a couple of games, and man, are they fun to watch. But I think a lot of people tend to forget that Charles Barkley was a very dominant basketball player. And I think folks have, jump on this running gag that because he never got a ring, that he's not a good player. It's almost like Shaq basically cursed him as a meme. Because every single time they get into an argument, what's the first thing Shaq brings up? Well, I mean, there's a lot of good basketball players that have never won a ring. But nobody's talking mess about them. Ain't nobody clowning Allen Iverson on Twitter. Nobody's clowning freaking Steve Nash on Twitter. Nobody is clowning Karl Malone because he never won a ring. Actually, no. So you have freaking kids who didn't even start watching NBA until Steph started getting good, who are trying to comment on the legacy of Charles Barkley. If you read this man's stats, it's just you think this is bad? Number 4, Scottie Pippen got screwed. I think it's crazy listening to Scottie Pippen's story because it's just this man was definitely taken advantage of. I mean, you get $17 million for 7 years. That's almost a full decade of the same pay. And you think about it, you have to be very careful with the people that you do business with because, folks, there's a lot of people who they come from areas and homes where they never seen that amount of money before. I'll even throw myself in there, for example. The first time, I worked a job and I had over $1,000 in my paycheck. Bro, I was over the freaking moon. And yeah, $1,000, that's not a lot of money as far as getting paid weekly. But it's just to someone who has never seen that amount of money in their bank account before, that was a big deal. So you look at it from Scottie Pippen's position and what he had to go through and what his family had to go through. The moment he saw, oh, that's a lot of commas, he just decided just to sign for it. He didn't give a crap about anything else. And it's just like, if he were to hold out and not sign that crappy contract, either two things would have happened. Either A, they would have came back to him with a better deal, or B, another team would have just picked him up. Because if Scottie Pippen was that great, which he was, then it would just be a matter of time before a different team would come and get him and sign him for good money. Now, would he have won a championship? I don't know, maybe. But he definitely wouldn't have gotten screwed out of his money, and he definitely wouldn't be doing commercials like this.
Chicago's original submarine, Mr. Submarine.
This is 1 6-footer. I can't handle one-on-one. Ladies, let's have a party.
Choose from Mr. Submarine's great lineup of your favorite subs. Mr. Submarine's king-size sub, a regular sub piled high with your favorite meats and cheeses.
For the best tasting meal around, Mr. Submarine is the real stuff.
Chicago's original submarine, Mr. Submarine.
Man's got the personality of a block of wood. I should know by now that, like, NBA players are not really good at acting, but God, was this bad. Like, they had to hurry up and film this in one take so Scottie could get to practice on time. It's almost like you could tell he was reading, like, the script off of, like, cue cards.
This is 1 6-footer. I can't handle one-on-one.
Number 3, Phil Jackson is a mastermind. I think Phil Jackson doesn't receive enough credit, in my opinion. I feel like a lot of people, they are so focused on, oh, Michael Jordan this, and oh, Scottie Pippen this, and Dennis Rodman this. The reason why a lot of that stuff was able to work was because of Phil Jackson and his brilliant mind. You know what I mean? This dude, didn't he, like, he majored in psychology, I believe. He definitely had to use his mind to meet people on the levels that they were at. Like, imagine, like, come on, man. You have to deal with Michael Jordan's ego, Scottie Pippen's ego, Dennis Rodman wanting to go out and freaking party all the time. You had to deal with all of this stuff and make sure that everybody remains happy to some extent without playing favorites. Like, the patience that you have to have working with people and not blowing up on them. Like, I could only imagine what I would feel if I had, like, a player, a very important piece, just come up to me and be like, yo, I need a vacation and I want to go to Las Vegas for 48 hours. No, you're freaking not. Go start stretching for practice. I think it's really interesting because it's just like, in Phil Jackson's mind, it's just like, if he were to not let him go, things probably would have been, like, worse. Dennis Rodman probably would slack off more. And so you have to learn how to work with people and work with their personalities and help get them to their highest level without trying to turn them into something that they're not. And that is so incredible for me watching Phil Jackson handle all those people. Also handling Jerry Krause. My brother mentioned this to me the other day. Doesn't Jerry Krause look like the freaking bad guy from Space Jam? Like that fat alien manager smoking the cigars? Like I never realized it up until now, but I'm just like, I think Michael Jordan and them they was taking some shots. And I'm not even going to give that man any type of credit whatsoever, man. I mean, yeah, he was a genius, but he was also a douche. Napoleon Complex type. Man, built like a freaking salami sandwich. He probably broke a sweat just trying to put on his pants. Number 2, Michael Jordan and the media. It's really funny to me how some things never change. I don't know if you guys follow sports the way I do, but I like to watch a lot of Undisputed, First Take. I like to go on Bleacher Report, and one of the things that they are notoriously known for doing is throwing Michael Jordan's name and LeBron James' name in the same sentence when it literally has nothing to do with them. Like, if LeBron were to put up 80 points one game, there would be someone in the comment section talking about, well, Michael Jordan put up 81, and that's because he doesn't miss free throws. And the same thing would go for Michael Jordan, man. Like, things, it just doesn't change. You know what I'm saying? It's just like some of these sportscasters like Skip Bayless, it's just like, that's almost like their bread and butter. Like, I honestly believe that if LeBron James were to retire right now, Skip Bayless would be homeless. Like, if LeBron James were to get blocked at the end of a play, you have folks in the comment section talking about MJ would never. But, I mean, he did. When they were playing against the Orlando Magic and got eliminated, bro, he was hitting air balls. He threw the ball out of bounds on accident. He was getting swiped left and right, and it's really interesting to me because I'm like, man, if that was LeBron James, folks would have a field day with this guy. So it just goes to show you, man, it's just like, man, times really never change. Like, if you're at the top of your game, man, folks are just gonna find stupid reasons to hate on you. Oh, Michael Jordan, he didn't really seem to support the Democrats versus the Republicans. And honestly, in my opinion, I mean, bro doesn't really have to do anything. It's not his job to respond to politics. It's not his job to comment on stuff like that. He can do it by choice, but he is not responsible and obligated to do it. His obligation is to win games and put up points. And I want to clarify what I mean when I say that. Like, LeBron James, Muhammad Ali, all of these outspoken athletes, Jim Brown, they chose to do that. And there's nothing wrong with them choosing to do that or not to do that, because their job is to play sports. It's not to comment on things. Now, them commenting and speaking up, that's icing on the cake for me. I absolutely enjoy it when players take responsibility and want to give back and want to help and want to inspire. That's the type of stuff I want to do. But if a player decided not to do that with their time and money, that's on them. I know folks are going to be looking at me just like, oh, David's in the sunken place. And last but not least, number one, Michael Jordan's dedication to the craft. This one is really awesome to me because seeing him get emotional and talking about why he does things the way that he does things was inspiring to me. You know, like I said before, I don't really know too much about Michael Jordan up until this documentary came out. And a lot of younger kids really didn't know anything about him besides shoes and memes. So it's really nice to see how we can use this documentary to teach people about the work ethic of, you know, of a person that is great. A lot of times folks are so concerned about clout because now you're not working hard to win. You're working hard just to be viral for like 10 minutes. Like, being viral, it comes and goes like that. In all honesty, nowadays, you have to make yourself seem like a character out of a movie in order to stay afloat. That's why Tekashi 6ix9ine is doing so well. He knows if he acts this certain way, he's going to get everybody else on the internet riled up talking about him. He's playing a character. Give this man a freaking Oscar. Him and Scottie Pippen.
This is 1 6-footer I can't handle one-on-one.
And so seeing Michael Jordan almost cry, talking about he wants to win and he wants to do anything that is necessary to not only have him win, but have his teammates win. That is something very, very special to me. And I think that if we get back to just the essence of hard work for your craft, instead of trying your hardest to go viral, trying your hardest to act like a lunatic on social media so people will talk about you, or using fine girls in your thumbnails just so you can get views and subscribers and stuff like that. If it was strictly about talent, a lot of people wouldn't be here.
This is 1 6-footer I can't handle one-on-one.